6th, we are going to be covering the topics from this past week and some news stories that we want to cover. As always, I'm Adam, and I'm always joined with Junior. Junior, are you ready?
Let's go!
This is our game now.
Damn right.
All right. If you followed us last week and you joined into the episode, our beer bracket was held over due to some limitations in beer availability. That continues this week, unfortunately. So we are in the process of putting together an order that should cover off the entire ale region.
Yes, it's the ale
which
region.
Is coming up. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Junior, Sha'Carri Richardson. In the news, unfortunately, not good news for her. She got tested positive for THC, marijuana, and will not be able to go to the Olympics this year. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Not to get too earthy and say, if it comes from the ground, take it down. There's a rule that the U.S. Olympics have to run by, and one of the rules in there is that you cannot have any drugs in your system, regardless of what they are. Doesn't matter. It could be anything, cough medicine. There's certain things that they don't want in your system. She got tested. She even came out and said, I knew what I was doing. I knew what the consequences were, and I still did it. But everyone is up in arms.
Yeah.
I get it. The whole, get high and pull your dad's gun out of the closet and shoot yourself in the face. Those whole commercials, it's not how it goes. And we all know that it doesn't work like that. But at the same time, if there are rules and this is your job and your livelihood, you don't put that in jeopardy. I mean, the amount of times I've seen people who want to become flight attendants and then they go through their interview process and, they go to a party and they smoke a joint and they get drunk and then they get called the next day to go for a piss test and they lose the dream job of their life because they smoked a joint.
Yeah.
There's still people out there that look at this as a negative thing, and I'm not one of them, but there are people who do look at it like that, and it's unfortunate. And then people thought that they were still going to take her for the 4x100 relay. Where is your brain at? They already said she ain't running. You were hoping that they were going to still take her in the 4x1? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, get your head out of your ass.
I mean, she's projected to obviously win those races and be a contributing factor on the 4x100. It's a real shame, and again, it's not something that I don't see any value really in.
No.
Stopping her. This isn't a performance enhancing drug, and I understand the rules. She understands them, so there's really nobody to blame but herself.
Yeah,
but I also don't agree with those politics, and I think that this is something that people could probably benefit from, especially in sports. And Usain Bolt and some of these other athletes in the past have come out ton in the NBA, especially retired guys once they come out. Stack 5 being one of them, Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes coming out and saying, once they've gotten drug tested that they've moved on and then they just, smoke as much as they want throughout the regular season. Right. So there's benefits for a lot of people. And I think they need to open this up and relook at this. Would you approve of them allowing this to be part of that testing and not be penalized for it?
I'll tell you the one thing, and it's a lot of things that people don't look at, and that's mental health. It's stress. It's anxiety. One thing that THC is known to relieve and almost dissipate and make disappear. So, I mean, the compounds that are in this drug, I don't even call it a drug. It's an herb, right? Let's call it what it is. It's a plant, it grows in the ground, and it has properties in there that relieve stress and anxiety and calm people down. It's done well in HDHD kind of stuff, So, I mean, when you really look at the benefits that this has, I don't think you can really call it a drug. It's a medicine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think with this kind of stuff, I don't think the drug screener should be looking for this. If she had anabolic steroids in her system,
different story.
That's a totally different story. That's helping her get faster. That's helping fast twitch muscles. That's helping her run recovery quicker. And that I can understand. But if she smoked a joint because her mom died or something, like, come on.
Yeah.
This isn't 1945. This is 2021, and we all know what's going on in the world. So Olympic Committee or USA, I think it was the U.S. Olympic Committee. You know, kind of, I'd say you should slap yourselves on the back of the head for that one. Like,
and many of the states are already
Prince
legal
style.
there too.
It is. It is
already legal, right? So, I mean, this is something that's, she could test positive for alcohol. That's not going to kick her out of the Olympics, right?
And it's a worse drug than THC is. Sorry.
UFC 264. Poirier McGregor. We were talking about this just before we came on live here. And thank you guys for joining us. If you are with us live, comment below what you think and hit that like and subscribe button. I don't think there's any chance that McGregor is going to win this fight. I think you said that you won on that nice pick that we had today for Euro Cup, which was both teams to score and a draw, which it did happen in the Spain-Italy game.
And if you guys haven't been watching our run in Euro right now, what's wrong with you? We're giving away picks that are making you lots of money. Just watch them. We're on fire right now. Absolute fire right now.
It's true. We can't even be too humble about it. We're killing it.
Before we get into the McGregor, I looked at the card. This is a really good card. Like,
some good fights on this, yeah.
I don't order a lot of UFC. I usually like to order the ones where you got the big names attached to it, but there's a lot of really good fights in this card. I think we might have to do a bets episode on this. I think we might have to do a fight night for this UFC event because it's
Sugar
pretty
Sean,
stacked.
That's who I want to see, right?
It's pretty stacked. So I mean, there's some really good fights in there. Now, the one thing I will say with this is the last Poirier McGregor 2. McGregor, I will say, did not get a proper camp in, and he knows he didn't, and he didn't use it as an excuse. This is a guy who does not use excuses at all. He didn't have a good camp. He was still with the family and the girlfriend, and all the outside noise was still there.
Yeah.
But this guy left, 2.5 months ago, and he's been on his own training every day. I think he's coming out a bit different this time. I think he's taking this one a little more serious. This is that rubber match, and I think we're going to get a good fight. Now, I'm not saying that McGregor is going to pace the floor with him, but I think we're going to get a better fight this time. At least I hope we do, because if I'm going to order this UFC, I want to see a good fight.
I think Conor was making some pleas to kind of say, hey, let's stand up in this fight. So yeah. I think he wants to try to box him and keep the stand-up game. I don't see, Poirier necessarily falling into that. And
Poirier's a good fighter. He's going to stick to what got him
his
there.
Game plan, right?
Yeah, it's not going to change. But, the one thing I do like to see from Poirier is he's giving Conor a lot of respect. He's not disrespecting him, which is what gets Conor fired up. You disrespect him, he turns into an animal. But Poirier is saying, he's a heavy hitter. He knocks guys out. The guy is one of the greatest. So, I mean, he's giving him his due. So I kind of like that angle. And you're not seeing a whole lot coming from McGregor in terms of the smack talk up to this point, except for that little note he left him on Twitter, which was actually quite funny. But anyway, I think we're going to get a good fight.
I think it'll be a solid fight, but I'm going to have Poirier winning this. Let's do a bets on it, and we'll cover the odds for all those fights. So look out for the Fight Night bets show, which will probably drop Thursday. So yeah. Ben times Jen. I think they were on the first cast that we've ever done. This is episode 9. They're going
still
hot.
Around.
They're still going, and they're going hot and heavy. And she recently came out and basically said this is the happiest she's ever been.
But hasn't she said that the last 9 engagements that she's had?
I think the happiest she's ever been is the next day that she woke up,
Pretty much.
Now she does have some new music out now as well, which I haven't heard the song. I heard a little snippet of it, but we're gonna have to look at that and see if there's any undertones there, kind of highlighting some stuff.
We got a sticker. We got a little sticker to pop up there.
Oh, we got to have something here for her.
That's the odd couple, man. That's the odd couple.
This is the photo. So I actually heard this on the radio today when I was driving, and I heard about this photo of Ben Affleck, and I hadn't seen the photo before. So this is it. This is the most infamous photo and meme that I've heard about him. So that's interesting. Will it last?
As long as he doesn't put a ring on her finger, I think they'll go for it as long as they want to.
So they're in the Hamptons, I believe, or they're just coming out of the Hamptons. They were there for a couple days, whatever.
It just seems that the minute, like, you look at her and A-Rod, they were going strong. They looked like a power couple, and then
working out together.
And then he put the ring on,
blended.
And the minute he put the ring on her finger, it fell apart. So, hey Ben, if you're listening, just don't put a ring on her finger. Just live life with her.
Yeah. Fourth or fifth time may not be the charm. So
yeah.
Okay, NBA Finals. They are here. We covered our NBA Finals show in detail and at great length. First game is today. It's currently 1 second into the game, and it's 0-0, so no surprise there. The big story.
I was expecting more offense. I know, second right? Of the game. Come on,
just an alley-oop right off the tip, right? Giannis is in the starting lineup, so we weren't expecting him to be playing game one. Probably more from a strategy standpoint. Mm-hmm. Why rush him in for the first game? Give him a couple extra days to see how that leg is doing and that knee sprain that he had. Yeah. But he's suited up. He was a game time decision, and he did play. Do you think this is going to impact this game?
I think it's going to, because if I'm the Suns, I'm running everything at him. He's going to get jabbed. He's going to get screened. He's going to get boxed out, and it's going to be hard. If Phoenix is set to arise and take this first game, I think they're going to have to run everything through Giannis, and I think the entire series they're going to have to run everything at Giannis and right through him to kind of keep him off his game. If I was Budenholzer, I would have said, "Listen, Giannis, I know this is the first time you've ever gotten to the NBA Finals, and I understand how excited you are to get in there, but sit back. Let's let the boys see what they can do here. We'll make our adjustments in game two, since I'm not very good at making in-game adjustments. So let's see what happens in game two. Let me make my adjustments, and then we'll come back strong." But it's the NBA Finals. You drop one, you end up dropping three more, and you're done. So I can understand that. They kind of want to get out on their best foot forward. But it's still kind of tough. I mean, guys, it's a hyperextended knee. Those things don't heal overnight. So I don't know.
No, and it looked like he wrenched it pretty good when that did happen in Game 4. I wouldn't have played Giannis. I wouldn't have let him suit up for this game. I don't think this game is not important if it costs him his health in this series. And who knows? You never know if you can go there and steal this first game in Phoenix anyways and give him that extra rest. Maybe give him a few more days rest past game 2 even, right?
Well,
maybe he comes back game 3.
Giannis is 1 for 1 from the line. Sorry, 1 for 2 from the line. And Milwaukee's up 3-2.
There you go. So, yeah, I would have rested him. I think he is going to be impactful. If he can stay in the series, I think he will have an impact there, but that's not going to change my prediction of Phoenix rising as NBA champions. Okay. Let's flip over our deck here and see what we've got in the back end. Okay, NCAA. Show me the Money Manziel. So the big news is NCAA players. Now, this has been talked about for a long time, but I would say it's really had the spotlight probably the last 2 years. Yeah. There's been a ton of talk about this. NCAA players getting paid on their personality, I guess, and their likeness and their ability to take endorsements, etc. This is huge for this sport, and NCAA makes a crap ton of money on these players.
Amounts of money, yeah.
So you give somebody a full ride, let's say a 15-20 man roster, you give them a full ride, whatever the cost of that is, and they're making 10x at least on that team.
Minimum. And you're running every sport imaginable at the D1 level. So
yeah.
This has been going on for a long time. I think this started to arise back in like 2016, I think, where a lot of these, school athletes were like, well, what the hell? How am I showing up in, EA Sports NCAA football, and it's my face and my jersey and my name, and I'm not getting paid for it?
Yeah.
So, I get it, but the way the schools look at it is, well, we're paying your education, so you shouldn't be able to make money while you're in here. That's crap.
You're also putting your body on the line too,
you
right?
are. There's guys that have gone in as 5-star recruits and tore their knee up and they were done the first year. And okay, obviously they can still play, but they'll pull scholarships because, well, you're not playing no more. So you got to pay for your schooling. This kid could be wherever. It could be Harvard, it could be Stanford, and all of a sudden he can't afford to pay for that schooling. No. So, I think at the same time, these kids should be able to sign contracts with brands. They should be able to sign their names. They should be able to go to rallies or card shows or, whatever, sign jerseys and get paid to do this. I mean, it is them. They're making money off themselves. It is also happening
already, right?
It totally is.
Like this stuff's already happening. It's just now it's going to come to the forefront. You're going to see these guys. Now, we were talking about this just before we kicked off here, and we were saying, you're seeing some of these guys pull out from the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is going to be something that's happening, as the years go on? Maybe they're not quite NBA ready, hang around another year rather than test the waters in the draft? Because I believe the rule is once you take an agent on, you're no longer eligible to play in college.
Yeah, because you're considered a professional when you have an agent. But you can have a PR manager. You can have a marketing manager, a social media manager, who can still do all this stuff for you, except they work for you, not. But
they're not getting the 5-10%, right?
Yeah, it's not like that. So the way I look at it is the one and done scenario in football and basketball and hockey and baseball and pretty much all of the team sports, the one and done has been a huge issue because these kids are not being taught how to manage money because they're not being given money. So they don't know how to manage it. So at this point where you don't have to worry about being a one and done and you can stay in college, university, you can get your education because now you're not in a rush to go pro and make that money. So this is going to allow a lot of these kids to now finish off their degree, have that in their back pocket for when they retire. Because let's look at it. I mean, when you think about it, the average career span of a football player is like 10 years.
I don't even think it's that much football. I think
it's probably like, a bit less.
Probably like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it could be even around there. Basketball, depending if you're one of the top guys, you can go 20 years. But the average is probably, again, 8 to 12 years kind of in there.
Yeah.
When you're 20 years old and now you're 28, what are you going to do? If you haven't made enough money or you were just a kid and you were stupid with your money, and it happened to who was it? Robert Tractor Trailer. That guy was living out of his car because his money was gone. He just didn't know how to manage it.
There was the one guy too, working at Starbucks or something. NBA player, Bucks. Glenn Robinson, maybe. No, I don't think it was.
No, he made a lot of money.
I was going to say Vaughn something.
Jacques Vaughn?
Can't remember.
Regardless, so this is going to allow them to get their degree, not be in a rush to make money because you can make money while you're there. And if you're one of the top athletes in the NCAA and D1, you're going to get a lot of sponsorship dollars. You're going to get a lot of money to stay in school. So if you're getting a ride and an education and you're not paying for your schooling, that's a win-win situation.
I said Vaughn. It was Vin Baker.
Vin Baker.
And then
that guy had a healthy career too.
Vin Baker was good. Then also think about this is kind of a substance situation, but kid from Cleveland. He was into drugs, was on the street, and they kind of find him.
Oh, he played for Dallas too. It was Mark Cuban that pulled him off the street.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
Can't remember his name either.
It'll come to me. I was just actually trying to look up, and I don't know if you know this off the top, NBA going right from high school now. They can actually skip, I think, starting next year.
Yeah. They lowered the age.
They can go right to the league, right? From high school?
Yep.
Okay. Because I know there was some sidestepping where you'd go G League and then kind of work your way through the farm system.
Yeah, that's the way Jalen Green, who's in the draft this year, that's the way he did it. Delonte West, that was the guy who Mark Cuban saved. Jalen Green. There's actually a few guys in the draft who went the way of the G League to get in here by sidestepping college. I don't think kids are going to do that anymore. There's no reason to. If you can go to the NCAA and you can make money and be the big man on campus and make good coin,
probably make a lot more money than you would in the G League.
In the G League, or even in your first few years in the NBA, if you're really, really good. So I would strongly recommend, like, if I had a kid right now who was in high school that was ready to make a jump and he wanted to go straight to the NBA, I'd say, listen, hold up. Let's find you a good program, a good college, get you a good degree, so that you have something to fall back on after your career is over. The money's going to be there, whether you're in the NCAA or you're in the NBA. The money's going to be there. So just go get your education, get that piece of paper, so that when you are done with the NBA, because you don't know what can happen. You could play 3 years and you're done. You tear your Achilles and you never get the way you were before. I mean, it's happened to a lot of NBA players. So
the other thing too is when you think about NBA salary, we were saying this once. Was it FIBA or FICA or whatever? Starts taking their piece, your manager, whatever the case is. You start
your crew,
your hanger honors. You might very well be able to make more money at that college or university that you end up at, right?
At least sets you up for a good start in the NBA, and you understand how to make your money, how to take that money and make money with it.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on here. Skims times Team USA. So Kim Kardashian, I didn't realize that even she made loungewear out of that Skims line. I thought it was like, kind of holding everything together clothing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the supplier, or Skims is the official loungewear of Team USA. It's pretty crazy. I mean, she can make money off anything.
Anything. It's insane that as long as she has her name, she knows how to market stuff. I mean, I'd be surprised to see how much that contract is actually worth.
It's got to be a ton, because that's like, you're jumping over Nikes, Reeboks, whoever the case might be.
Well,
right?
she launched Skims in 2019 and it's valued right now at $1.6 billion.
Unreal. Good for her. I mean, geez. Being able to crack Team USA, I wonder if she called in a favor to Bruce, Caitlin. If there's any connections there to link up with Team USA, who knows?
There could be, but again, if she knows how to work her network, that's what smart people do. So
absolutely,
can't fault her for that.
Okay, we love to hate. We love to hate.
I fucking hate you, LeBron.
So, Mr. Mom over here, soccer mom LeBron. She even wearing LeBrons in this? Actually, it almost looks like those. Those are one of those earlier LeBrons.
Yeah, they do. The soldier.
Yeah. Okay, so LeBron got ripped by an announcer as he was sidelines at a Sierra Canyon basketball game, which basically is all he's doing in his off season. It looks like
he's got nothing else to do.
He isn't. I don't think recruiting is allowed just yet. Not that probably has stopped him from making a few calls over to Damian Lillard, which may play for the Lakers next year. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing DeMar too.
I'm hearing, and Lowry will definitely be on that list of people they'd want to bring into the organization to run the point. So you saw this. He kind of crosses a security line. The security guard doesn't even move a millimeter for LeBron. And the reality is LeBron was probably in that layup line at the very beginning of that game anyways, throwing down jams.
He always is. He always is.
What do you think about this guy right now?
Oh, man. You know what? As a kid who played organized sports growing up, I'm used to these moms that just go absolutely ballistic, and they don't. Come on, LeBron, just let your kid be a kid. Let him play. He trying to influence the refs and trying to put your stamp on it. Like, not everything needs to be branded LeBron James.
Yeah,
let's just let this kid do what he's doing. I mean,
it's a lot of pressure for Bronny too. Like, he's got this. I was hearing this story. And I had heard it before, but I heard it a little bit more recently when, Jordan came back and played for the Wizards. Kwame Brown, is this, looking like a stud and just couldn't live up to LeBron or Jordan's expectations, and basically was crushed out of the game, right?
Yeah.
He basically had a non-career at that point, turned into Anthony Bennett. It's tough, like to be in LeBron's shadow. Like, all the trash talk we talk about him. I mean, the reality is he's still an incredible player.
Yeah, I mean, when you have parents who are athletes, you can see that some can handle the pressure and others can't. Now, there's a lot of father-son combinations that in baseball, but that's obviously a very different sport where the pressure is not as much as it is because there's less focus on you as a player in baseball. It's more of a team game.
Team sport, yeah.
Whereas basketball, you could be the one of the five on the floor, and there's a lot of attention on you. So whether he's doing this to help prepare Bronny, but I've seen clips of Bronny just getting ripped and roasted online about the stuff that his dad does.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's tough as a kid. And especially if LeBron's got a lot of haters. He's got a lot of haters for obvious reasons. He should have a lot of haters. But, his kid takes a lot of the brunt on, and I don't think LeBron realizes that.
Yeah.
So he's got to stop doing what he's doing and just let this kid play. I mean, if you're that famous and you've got all this massive entourage and you're going to be a spectacle at your kid's game, don't go. Or go up in the rafters wearing a disguise. Just blend into the background.
Just be chill with it, right?
Yeah, he's not. He's in the forefront, in the layup line, talking to the kids, talking to the coaches, talking to the refs. Like, LeBron, just take a back seat when it comes to your kid.
You can tell that LeBron loves the spotlight because he really does seek it out. He seeks out the attention, like a
wherever he can.
Kid. Yeah. All right, LeBron. I'm sure you'll be back next week or the week after for something else. Nick Cannon had 4 kids in 6 months. That's a lot of kids, man. And he's got 7 total with, I think, 3 partners.
How many did you have with?
I think twins. So he's got 2 sets of twins out of those 7.
Okay, it's not as bad.
He's popping off twins, but he's got 3 partners that equal 7 children.
4 in the last 6 months, like that. It's
crazy.
That's. I mean, if you want the kids, cool. If you don't, just wear rubber. Like,
take care of it. Yeah.
If your junk is that potent, I mean, you might want to consider something. Whether it's talk to some I don't know. That's crazy. I couldn't.
It's pretty. He's got a pretty busy schedule. So to have 7 kids amongst 3 different partners, just as a father, just as a regular father,
be a nightmare.
Trying to work a regular 9-to-5 job and take care of 2 kids is a lot of work. But try to spend that time with all the stuff that he's got on the go. Maybe 7 is enough. Maybe that's the right number for him.
I don't know if he's trying to get a basketball team together or something, but
here he is. Look, he's that guy.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, Major League Baseball. We talked about it before it got officially banned. We talked about it when they banned it, and we're talking about it now. Spider Tack, the new steroids of baseball, which are now banned, and we've seen the strip searches and full cavity searches these umpires have been putting on these pitchers, and you can see the frustration on them because this is a very competitive sport, and any edge you can take, you're going to try to get it. Sometimes within the rules and sometimes not. But you wanted to touch on something specifically regarding the spin rate, and I just want to have one thing. We did talk about no hitters and how many we've had probably a month ago now at least.
Yeah.
Which they had 6, and I think total number of no hitters in the season record was 7. And we were thinking this is going to be blown out.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, it just drops off the table.
No hitters.
Not since then. Not since the crackdown happened. And the one thing that has been the pitchers have had that advantage of this year is the spin rate of the ball. The ball's spinning more. It's harder to pick up. You don't know what it is, and you have less reaction time. So the first week after the ban came in, the spin rate on baseballs from pitchers when they were measured, because that's the great thing about advanced metrics is you can tell exactly what this stuff is now. The spin rate dropped by 3.3%. That's huge. Yeah. That's not a little bit. That's massive. And then another 2.3% after June 3rd. So I'm wondering what it actually looks like now. Yeah. That it's even a month later. So you're talking about almost 6% drop off on a spin rate of the average pitcher's pitch is incredible.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that they were almost all using this stuff.
Or something.
Or a version of the spider tag.
Sure, yeah.
But I mean, if I'm a baseball GM and I'm trying to build a winner and I see this kind of a massive decline in spin rates, I'm not looking for pitchers anymore. I'm going to beef up my offense. I'm going to get the best bats that I can because now it looks like the pitching's weak. So
just
don't go out and get
the run
more
support.
Yeah, just build up your run support. Just make sure that 1 through 9, you've got guys that can hammer the ball and just go that way. Because, I mean, if the spin rate's that bad, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of issues on the Jays side. I don't think there's been a massive
I was
decline
just going to say,
rate.
So is this the theory that you want to take with the Jays? Because we need relievers. We need guys we need closers. We need a bullpen. We do need some pitching. Are you saying that you still want to go after pitching because the Jays haven't had an issue, but you don't even know what you're really buying now.
You don't. That's the thing. So, I mean, today they traded Rowdy Tellez. They got 2 pitchers from Milwaukee who seem to have a pretty good system when it comes to developing pitchers. So it's good to see, Rowdy go out there and get to better chance to play. But I mean, when you're talking about the rotations dropping from like 2,500 to 2,100, that's 400 rotations per minute.
That's crazy.
That's a huge drop. Yeah. So you really don't know what you're going to get out of these guys. So you really almost have to look at their stats last year, but even then they could be tainted. So, I mean,
wasn't as on the radar.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to start giving up really good young prospects from your system to get guys who have been using spider tack or some form of spider tack, and you're not getting a proper valuation of that actual pitcher, but you've given up things that you have a proper valuation on, it's going to become an issue. So, I mean, I think it's going to make a lot of GMs hesitant towards going out and getting those high-end arms.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going on. I mean, the Jays were looking at, who was it? We talked about him. Richard Rodriguez?
From the Padres?
No, from the Pirates.
Oh, the Pirates, yeah.
This is a guy who has had a massive decline in his spin rate. So they're trying to say that, it might be because he's sick or wasn't feeling well or this or no, because he was using the junk.
I've got a cold, so my spin rate's down.
Yeah, that doesn't work like that.
I think the good thing is that maybe he was a rental, like his contract's coming up, so maybe we just grab him for a bit, right? And then you don't have to invest too heavily. But what are you giving up?
Yeah, that's the problem. And you don't want to give up something that is going to be a commodity, come next trade deadline or in the offseason when free agency starts, where you could have used that piece to actually get a really strong piece. So I think the Jays just have to be wary of this and just be smart about it. And I think all teams do, because you don't literally want to see this game fall apart because of people cheating.
Agree.
So I don't know. Let's hope it cleans itself up though.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing worse than, especially within baseball, let's try to keep that game as pure as possible. It's had its fair share of scandals already, and let's try to clean it up, because we want to keep that game and preserve the integrity of baseball and the game, everything that it stands for, right? Okay, any final thoughts at all, Junior? We got the game right now. Phoenix is 24-22, and we got somebody limping off there. I missed it.
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, I want to go watch this game.
Yeah, all right, awesome. Okay, well, look, everybody, thanks for joining us for the cast episode 9. We thank you and appreciate your attention. Help us grow our channel by hitting that like button and commenting below. We'd love to have you a part of the channel, so hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, because we're live all the time. And I'm Adam.
And I'm Junior. And we're going to see you on Wednesday for Cardboard Cutouts.
And we'll see you real soon.